Hello, YouTube. I am Vince White. I am an employment attorney, and on this channel, we answer publicly posted questions from YouTube users, getting folks the answers they need from an employment attorney. It's what we do here. Okay, we have a question from YouTube user Stace or Stacy Erickson. I apologize, I wasn't sure on the pronunciation. And Stace asked us, Vince, how do the EEOC attorneys or judges handle witnesses who won't talk due to being afraid of retaliation and potentially losing their jobs? Meaning, if they get on the stand and state that and refuse to answer or clam up and refuse to answer questions. Okay, so you asked how the EEOC does it. The EEOC might say to a potential witness, hey, you're free from retaliation here. You don't have anything to worry about. Stace might say, that doesn't sound effective. Stace would be correct. In terms of how a judge will handle that, the judge would just direct the witness to answer truthfully and kind of give him a nudge saying, hey, you don't really get the choice. You don't get the choice. You're on the stand. You're under subpoena here. You're under oath. Answer. The end. That also, you might think to yourself, doesn't sound particularly effective. You would again be correct. That might not be particularly effective. How would an attorney handle witnesses who are afraid? Okay, so I have two approaches. We have many approaches, but there's two that I'm going to share here because we'll give away the broad strokes, but not the full playbook, right? I'm not training you to be an employment attorney. I'm training you to be better able to navigate the system for yourself. So the first thing you do when you start a case, often if you have key witnesses who are still working for the employer, you get them in early to sign affidavits. You say, hey, tell me everything that happened. You jot it down, put it in an affidavit, and say, hey, is everything accurate here? Read it very carefully, please. And you get them to sign that affidavit. This might seem very clear-cut, but the reason for doing that is later on when they're afraid to testify, you can subpoena them and make them testify. And then you can hold them to what they put in the affidavit. If they start to part from what they said in the affidavit, you can say, well, hold on. Didn't you create a sworn statement? And in that sworn statement, didn't you say X, Y, and Z? Oh, you don't remember? Do you want to look at your sworn statement that you created? Yeah, okay, let's put it in evidence while we're at it. When did you sign this? You agreed everything this is accurate, right? Okay. Judge, let's put it in evidence. Okay. So now the thing you signed. Was that a lie? Oh, it wasn't a lie? Okay, so you lied today? Oh, you lied today. Oh, you didn't mean to lie. You got flustered. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Don't need to be flustered. I'm glad we got the real answer. Thank you. Right? Is that a nice thing to do? It's not the nicest. Which brings me to our second approach. A little more caring. There's limitations, and you have to be careful how you do this, and you have to really navigate this with, care and style and aplomb. I don't really know what that means, aplomb. But you're going to go to these witnesses who are afraid to testify, and you're going to say, hey, listen, you don't really get a choice. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make it look like you dodged me and you fought me and you did everything in your power to not testify. I'm going to force you to come in. You're not coming in on your own. You're not volunteering. I'm going to subpoena you. I'm going to force you to come in. I'm going to make it clear. I'm going to complain to the judge that it was hard to get a hold of you. It was hard. You dodged me. You fought me every step of the way. And that's going to make you look like a good guy to your employer. And then if your employer does in fact retaliate against you for what you say in the stand, rest assured, I will run a free retaliation claim for you. I'm going to protect you with camouflage on the way in and with a club in my hand on the way out. That's what I can promise you as a witness. I have found that to be a compelling offer for many, many, many people. Not all. Not all. Which is why we employ the first strategy as well. Right? Always play it the nice way if you can. But at the end of the day, this job has one core truth. Your duty of loyalty to your client. Your client is the person who retained you, who you're representing. And almost certainly the witnesses are not your client. Your client is a witness, but these witnesses we're talking about, they're probably not your client. So it's our job, it's our fiduciary duty to put our client first. And that could get ugly because we can't say, hey, I want to help my client, but I don't want to be a mean guy, do mean things, and, force these people to testify. Not an option. Nobody asked for your attorney feels. Nobody really believes attorneys even have the feels, right? So the rule is very clear cut. The client comes first. The client comes before yourself, let alone the witnesses. So you try to be as nice as you can to the witness. You try to support them. Be the wind beneath their wings. Make it as good as you can for them. Make it easy to do the right thing. Support them, truly. Protect them at every step. But if you can't, you club them and you drag them to the courtroom. You put them on the stand. You say, sit there and say the things if you know it's good for you. Not fun. I don't like doing that. Some of the worst days of my life have been doing that. Feels really bad. Feels bad, man. Like, super bad. Because that's how they fed their family. They could lose the job with which they fed their children because you forced them to testify. Very unfortunate. But the way the law is written, there's no choice. None whatsoever. Client comes first. You got to do it. So Stace or Stacy, I hope that answered your question. It is a very perceptive question. You are digging into one of the darker sides of employment law. And listen, there's a lot you can do to protect witnesses. There's a lot you can do to make things nice and get them to cooperate voluntarily. There's a tremendous amount of convincing and protecting that can be done. And when it falls short, well, you were the monster for hire, weren't you, as the attorney? That was the gig, right? So go be the monster for hire. Like, subscribe, comment down below if this video is helpful. If it's not helpful, do not do those things. I didn't earn it. If this was not the proper answer, if you have follow-up questions, I will check the comments down below. Comment away. Let me know what else you need to know. And remember, everybody works. Not everybody wins.